Hey everybody, welcome to Ready Set Drone. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Furious 215 FPV racer from Walkera. This was actually provided to me by Walkera, but I have to say I'm pretty impressed with Walkera's products right now. So I'm going to try to remain unbiased, but I can tell you that based on the Rodeo 110 that I recently received and have been flying a lot, I really like these little micro FPV racers from Walkera. So stick around and let's check it out. So before I get started, I want to just promote something real quick. On April 22nd, 2017, my buddy B is going to be in town. B is from Droner News. B and I are going to be doing some videos together. If you haven't checked out Droner News, I highly recommend it. I'll put a link in the description here so you can go see it. But he and I are going to do some live Q&A as well as some giveaways and some other things that we're going to try to come up with for our live broadcast on April 22nd, 2017 at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Central. The Walkera Furious 215. This has been sitting in my garage for about 2 weeks now, and I've been really excited to try it. Just had to get the time and also the good weather to do it, and we're finally having both of those things. So here is the actual quad. It's a cool looking little quad. Now, of course, 215 means 215 millimeters diagonally is the size. It's the class of the quad. It's got a built-in camera. It's got ESCs. It's got brushless motors. It's got these little landing nubs here on the bottom, which look like they are pretty solid. They're actually plastic, but they look like they're pretty well integrated. The camera is tilt adjustable. It looks like you'd have to loosen these sides here. It's got a little plastic film on it right now. I'll go ahead and take that off. Overall dimensions are 168 millimeters from front to back center, 209 millimeters from side to side, so it's not a perfect square. It is, and then 71.5 millimeters in height. It is 375 grams without the battery, which is over the half-pound mark and the 0.55 pound mark, which is the cutoff for needing to have a FAA registration sticker on it. So I'm going to need to put mine on it before I go fly it. I guess there's there's a couple spots down here on the bottom legs that would work pretty nicely. It is for 4 millimeter thick carbon fiber. This camera is adjustable, and one nice thing about the adjustability of this camera is it actually has a little scale on the side, so you can actually see how far up and down you're adjusting it. There's this little box of tools here, which is pretty nice. All the plastic that this comes in is real stretchy and kind of hard to open without scissors. So this comes with this little wrench, which is nice. It's going to be a wrench for your nuts in order to take on and put on and take off the props. It's also going to allow you to adjust the antenna, tighten the antenna, and do a few other things. So it's nice to have this little tool in general for your other drone stuff. And I'm not sure what this little hook is for. I'll have to figure that out. And then it's also got a Allen key and a couple of spare nuts for the propellers. One thing also, all the propellers on this quad, all the nuts on this are, you tighten them by turning them clockwise. So they're all uniform. So on 2 of them, there is a chance that you could actually unthread them accidentally, and you might want to put some Loctite on those if you think you might accidentally unthread them. A couple of other things. I know that this is pre-programmed. It does have clean flight. This switch is what takes you from angle to horizon to acro mode. So you probably want to start an angle, just fly it around a little bit. Horizon and acro are over here. And then this switch back here is what allows you to fly in air mode, which is going to allow you to do the most stunts. So they're the 2 switches on the top right, but not this one here. So it's that one switch It's the mix switch and the FMD switch are the ones that are going to switch your flight modes. I do know also that in order to arm the motor, you go down into the left with the throttle. In order to disarm it, down into the right with the throttle. So one of the complaints I've heard about this little guy is it only has 8 channels of video transmission. That's actually not true. There are up to 40 channels, but you have to know the right combination of buttons to push in order to get out of the main 8 channels. There are 3 little dip switches down here in the bottom of the quad. There is also a button over here on the side, and this button is going to allow you to do 2 things. It's going to allow you to switch into different, it's like a macro switch that will allow you to get into 40 different channels. Walkera did provide a link to a video that shows you how to make this switch. I'll provide that link as well, rather than try to explain it or show it to you right here. But just keep in mind that you actually can switch between 40 channels and go from 25 to 600 milliwatts in terms of transmission power for the video transmitter. So one other thing that I wanted to do real quick was go ahead and put these LEDs on. Not sure why they didn't include them when they why they didn't put them on when they gave you the quad, but I think they are very simple to put on, and you can actually configure them in clean flight. I believe the way you're going to put them on is they're going to go down here and down here with this sticky tape, double-sided tape, and then this this little guy right here is going to plug into the side. There's a power port on the power distribution board on both sides, each one for the LEDs on each side. You want to make sure that you get the little ridges on the correct side so that you don't bend anything. And so looking at this guy, I believe this is the right way. So that's in. And now I'm going to go ahead and flip it over, peel off the sticky tape. And they also come with zip ties, so I suppose if you want to be doubly sure, you can zip tie it to the frame. I guess I'll put the zip tie under the ESC right here on the end. Okay, now I just need to clip those. But before I do, I'm going to go ahead and put the props on. Alright, got all 4 props on. Now I'm going to use this, this device to tighten them. And I'll bet this guy is for hooking the motor while you, yes, that's exactly what it's for, while you tighten the prop nuts. Got all 4 props tightened up. Let's go ahead and put the antenna on the back. And again, the little tool that comes with it allows you to tighten the antenna slightly if you need to. Again, don't over tighten it, but just enough so that it doesn't go anywhere. You're going to want to bend this antenna up like that. Okay, so I'm out in the field with the Furious 215 from Walkera. Got it all put together. I did actually add the GoPro mount right here, so it's got it can take any sort of action camera, but I happen to have a GoPro Hero 4 on it, so I'm going to try flying it with that. I'm going to try flying it with a oh, one note about that. These little bolts here on the side were pretty tight, and so had to get in there and take them off to get this thing mounted. But now that it's mounted, it's actually kind of swivelable. You can move it up and down a little bit, which is nice. It's a little bit breezy out today, not too bad. Nice overcast day, so not too bright, which is helpful in terms of even light for the Fat Sharks and the FPV camera. I did also tilt my FPV camera up just slightly. You have to loosen these little guys on the side in order to adjust it. My only concern really is that I want to make sure that my recording camera, my GoPro, is not blocking my FPV camera. So one other thing I'm going to try today is flying this with a 3S battery and see if it'll work with a 3S battery. I think it will. It's got a XT60 connector, and I've got a 3S battery with a XT60 connector, so I don't see any reason why it wouldn't work. But oh, and one other thing that I found out from a little bit of research online, there is actually a button here on the side that will allow you to get into more of the channels, more than just the 8 default channels. So you're able to change which set of channels you're in. So basically there are 8 default channels and there's 5 different ranges you can be in. So if you switch between those ranges, each of them has 8 channels within that range, which gives you a total of 40. It's a little bit convoluted in terms of having to press the button down, wait for a light to blink, etc. There is a video online that explains how to do it from Walkera, but just know that there are actually 40 channels on this thing and not just 8. I'm flying by myself today, so I'm not too worried about interfering with anybody else, but if you were going to be racing somebody else or another group, you would want to make sure you were able to get on your own channel. Okay, I've got the Fat Sharks dialed in. You can see the signal there. I don't know if you can or not, but I can, and it's a pretty clear signal. You do have an OSD, an on-screen display, that gives you a few things like a horizon line, battery levels, tells you if you're armed or disarmed, and flight time, so that's cool. I like flying through this goalpost because it's such a big, easy target. It's good practice for me, get more confidence flying through things. And there's a fence right on the other side of it, so you got to get up high after you go through it. I know I'm craning my neck in crazy directions. I have to stop doing that. Alright, I'm getting a low battery warning. Low voltage, it's at 14.6. So I'm going to bring it in, try to land it gently. Alright, that was a fun flight. So the Walkera Furious 215 is a great little racing quad. It's super easy to set up, doesn't require a lot of technical knowledge, flies great right out of the box, especially if you get the ready to fly version. It's got 3 settings, it's got angle, it's got horizon, and it's got acro already built in. You don't have to do any tuning in clean flight. I do recommend getting into clean flight and learning how to do that, but for something that you can just take out of the box, set up in 20 minutes and be out flying, this is a great option. With the 4S battery, it's got plenty of punch. I wish it would fly with the 3S as well, but I understand that you know, there's certain limitations. The LEDs on the bottom are pretty awesome as far as putting those on and being able to actually program those in clean flight to do different things. Even by default, they just kind of blink different colors and look really cool. The camera setup is well thought out. The camera is very well protected too. It's got this housing around it that keeps the camera from getting banged up if you crash. It is a little bit of a pain to adjust the tilt, but once you've got it, it stays in place really well. It's great that it has this mount for your action camera, which I think is fantastic if you want to be able to film with it. And it's also great that it is all pre-built and pretty much ready to go out of the box. So if you want to check it out, I've put some links in the description. One is for GearBest, where you can buy it, I think a little cheaper, or if you prefer to buy on Amazon, there's a link to Amazon where you can buy it as well. It costs you a little bit more, but if you've got Amazon Prime, it might be worth it. Thanks again for watching Ready Set Drone. If you like this video, please hit the like button. And if you want to know more about drones, racing drones, and camera drones, and toy drones, check out and subscribe to Ready Set Drone.